Continue to breathe deeply and slowly, letting each breath anchor you in the here and now. Take one last deep breath in, and as you exhale, slowly open your eyes and take a moment to notice how you feel. Remembering you can return to this state of calmness and grounding whenever you need it throughout your day. And so it is.
As we continue to breathe, just recognizing that each breath is the breath of God, it's the breath of life. And as we take this breath in, realize that it is everything. It is intelligence, it is wisdom, it is love, it is compassion. And we take it in with each and every breath, for we are one with it. I am one with it, and it runs in and through me. And as such, I know that each and every one of us, as we sit here, are partaking of that intelligence. And I know that this service will flow gracefully. It will flow with love. It will flow with compassion and understanding, for it can be no other way, for that is what Source is. It is compassion, understanding, wisdom, and love, and it flows in and through us, and I am grateful. I am grateful for this knowledge. I am grateful for this knowing. I am grateful to be here in this building with each and every one of you. I am grateful to be heard by anyone who can hear my voice, to know that we are all part of this magnificent, beautiful unfolding of life. And so with that gratitude, I'm moved to place these words into the law of mind, knowing that it's complete, it's done, it's beautiful, it's magnificent. And I let these words go, I let them be, and I know all is good, for all is God. And I just ask you to confirm this with me by saying together, and so it is.
Thank you, Cynthia, for that wonderful treatment. And thank you, Rita, for leading us this morning in our meditation. It was beautiful. Now, I'd like to call your attention to our vision and our mission as we take a minute to get clear and centered about why we are even here. So, our vision and mission, you can see, is behind me to my right. Also, in the back of the chairs, there are some cards that have QR codes there. If you like, you can download our vision and our mission and a lot of more information, but that way you'd be able to follow along with me as we turn our attention to our vision and our mission. Please join me. Our vision: a loving and peaceful world where all of humanity is honored as the divinity within is experienced. And our mission: the center of peace is a loving, inclusive, and vibrant community that utilizes and demonstrates spiritual principles and practices to cultivate powerful individuals who together create peace throughout the world. And so it is. And now I'd like to invite you to stand and join us in the singing of our congregational song, I'm One. Our congregational song was written by our licensed retired practitioner, Bayless Webb. The words to the song, you can download the QR code and get the words. Also, our greeters will be walking around and giving anybody a copy of the lyrics so that you too can join us in singing our congregational song. All right, Al, we're ready.
I'm one with Spirit, the Holy Spirit, and it dwells inside of me. This perfect Spirit, pure loving Spirit, rests in everything I see. God walks beside me, protects and guides me. It's never with me. Wherever I go, I trust its power, God's healing power. Its love surrounds me, and this I know. I live in spirit, I breathe in spirit. It lives within me, and so I am a spirit, I think a spirit, its life is my life. I know God's This life is my life, I know.
So while we are still standing, let us not miss out on this opportunity, this perfect opportunity, simply to glance around and allow our eyes to fall and settle where they may as we welcome each other this morning, reminding each other that you matter and that you are loved. Welcome. Yeah. All right. You may be seated. You may be seated. So, here at the Center of Peace, we are an open and affirming community. All are welcome at the Center of Peace. And if this is your first time here visiting the Center of Peace, we'd love to be able to acknowledge you this morning by just simply allowing love to flow through our hearts as an expression of who and what we are in acknowledging the same in you. So, if you'd like to stand, please do if you feel comfortable enough. Yeah, so that we may welcome you. Center of Peace, please join me as we allow love to simply flow from our hearts through our hands as we say, welcome to the Center of Peace. Welcome to the Center of Peace. We know who you really and truly are. We know who you really and truly are. A unique and divine expression of love itself. A unique and divine expression of love itself. Perfect in every way. Perfect in every way. We do honor you. And we welcome you. Welcome to the Center of Peace. Yes. Please do, after service, find our visitors and let them know that they're welcome here and that they are loved. All right, so I think it's time for announcements. As a Yenda is coming up, I just wanted to take a moment to celebrate and highlight our appearance at Pride last Sunday. It was a wonderful, wonderful time. The conscious intention that we set as a committee to be love and to bring love was evident, very evident. There were people coming to our table. The whole 5 hours, it felt like it just didn't stop. And we were hugging and we were praying and we were honoring the humanity and all. And people were already saying, what are we going to do next year? So it was a delight, and I'm honored that we are, for me, really a demonstration of what it means to go beyond the four walls. And it's time that we do go beyond the four walls. We have a lot of love to give. And they're not coming here, so we've got to go there. Yeah, all right.
Thank you, Rose. Oh, happy Sunday. My name is Ayenda Lambert. I am the marketing specialist. I am the vice president of the board of trustees, and my pronouns are she and her. I'm here to give you the announcements for today. We're going to start with Social Justice Care Circle. Is Leslie here? Hi, Leslie.
Good morning, Center of Peace family. Had to run down and get some from my car, so I'm a little out of breath. Whew, not as young as I used to was. Anyway, I'm here on behalf of the Social Justice Care Circle to let you know that on Saturday, June 21st, we're going to be having a wonderful program and presentation. I'm inviting all of you to join us. We have an actor named Carlos Campbell who will be doing a recitation from the 1852 Frederick Douglass speech. He's going to be giving excerpts from that. He's a wonderful actor, and you'll feel like you were there in 1852. Anyway, following that, there's going to be a facilitated conversation, and it will be led by our own Layla Dunbar Keys, licensed practitioner. And we will also have music from R.C. Francis, Janet McDonald, and friends. And you will be so inspired by what you see, hear, and experience that you will be moved to take some action after that is over. And then as you're so moved, the circle our circle doesn't have enough people, then there can't be too many because we have other things planned. And so we welcome you to join the Care Circle. And okay, there's something I can't say, but there's something coming up. So thank you, Reverend Twana. Thank you.
Thank you, Leslie. And next up is Hazel Spears for the children and youth. Hazel? Hey. Yep. Okay. Well, just hang out with us. That's
All
all.
right, yeah, that would be kind of nice. The Rev Little John is here. It'd be my pleasure. Must have been meant to be. Hey, everybody. I am one of the 3 teachers, myself, Wilhelmina, and our sister Barbara Jones. We teach the youth, but we got to have some youth to teach. And Donna Ray's been really good bringing her whole tribe. But today they said, Mama said no, or something like that. But anyway, we need you too, because when we have the big ones and the little ones, it gets kind of crazy. One of us goes with the big ones and one of us goes with the little ones. You get to show your talent. You get to go ahead and share whatever you do special, be it drawing or crocheting or singing or whatever. Come on, talk to any one of us. You won't be alone. You'll be with me and one of the other teachers, and you get to be with kids. Talk about energy. Talk about love. Talk about learning something new, because they definitely are teaching you. So come and volunteer. There's a sign-up sheet on the door, and the Sundays are there until we take the month of August off. We are closed on the month of August. So come now, or what? Be here, or be square, or get left, or something like that. Whatever. We need you, so come on and sign up. Thanks a million. Appreciate it.
Okay. And next, someone from, well, Deb Napper from the Education Circle. Oh, no? Okay. Oh, boy. Right here. Okay. We're going to work it out. We're going to work it out. How about this?
Well, I
Here you
don't
go.
know if all of you were present yesterday for the Education Care Circle presenting a program. Wasn't that? Excuse me?
Get in there. Get in there.
Yes, part of that was the Mindful Listening Workshop, which was really very well attended. It was very, very good. It gave a lot of information. I think everyone was very actively participating, and I'm pretty sure we answered some questions and gave some insight and perspective about mindfulness, and that we know in this teaching our thoughts create our reality. So we are mindful in harvesting our thoughts, and that we are from a place of love, from a place of one creator, and we have all the essence of that creation within us. And that's all wonderful. Okay? And your feedback is essential. We value the divinity within each person in our community and want to hear from you by completing our survey by June 30th. You help us create workshops and classes that resonate with your spiritual needs and aspirations. And so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Dad. And, oh, okay. Cynthia. Cynthia, are you here? You have I can't wait to hear this one. Come on.
Good morning. We are starting a crochet circle. The first meeting will be June 29th. Okay. At the Bromley House Apartments. It's 6901 Old York Road, B Building, the Business Center. And it will be at 2 to 4. Right now we have myself, and we have Sheila Denikin and Pamela Bottoms. We want more. So we are asking you to join us. If you're new to crochet, fine. If you're a seasoned crocheter, all the better. So, because the beginners are going to need all the enthusiasm and help, but it's going to be fun, and we're going to hopefully come up with some projects that we can do to help things at the Center of Peace, little things that we can do. We have some great ideas. So please join me and Pam and Sheila on Saturday, June 29th at 2 p.m. Thank you. And if you have any questions, you can contact me, Cynthia Banks. Phone number, I guess, would be helpful. 267-908-1595. 267-908-1595. Looking to hear from each and every one of you. Bye.
You're going to hear from me. I have a bucket, a 5-gallon bucket of yarn is waiting to be used, so I'll be there with my bucket. Thank you. Okay, and a special Sunday service announcement from Janet or Rev. Okay.
Yeah, so July 28th, Janet McDonald and myself, we are planning a very special service. The details is in the crock pot. It's cooking. We are coming together with the right words and what we want to call it. But we thought we'd get you wondering, what is this all about? Just put it on your calendar. Plan on being here. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. All right.
Ooh. Ooh. Sounds juicy. Okay, and there's another announcement. Liz has an announcement with the microgreens, right? Okay. That was on the newsletter earlier this week. Microgreens. Yes, okay. All right. Microgreen Magic, Tiny Greens, Big Flavor. On June the 30th, 2024 at 11 a.m. to 12:30 here at TCP. I'll read the description about it. Microgreen Magic, Tiny Greens, Big Flavor is a workshop that introduces all to microgreens, what they are, its nutritional value, and how to grow them. Join this interactive class where children will learn about this leafy vegetable, what this leafy vegetable is, and plant seeds in soil to take home with them to harvest and enjoy in a meal. This workshop will be taught by Philadelphia County's master gardener and owner of Black Planted Philadelphia Gardens, Erica Johnson. This is a free workshop and registration is required. And please register by the June 24th. And next, Beyond the Four Walls. Okay, so we're going to the beach on Wednesday. This Wednesday, June the 12th. Who's going? You going? Oh, okay. All right. You go. Come on. Okay. So on Wednesday, June the 12th at 10 a.m., we're going to meet at Ocean City, New Jersey. And this is something that we're going to do once a month on Wednesdays from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So if you have any questions, see me after service or I'll tell you about that later. And next, I want to share something with you. I'll just give you a heads up. So Rev mentioned that we went to Pride last week, right? Well, we had T-shirts made. We had these T-shirts made, and people loved them, okay? And Reverend Carletta, she made them. And Sophia, she designed them. So, yeah. So the two-sided T-shirts, they're going to go on sale very soon. So, and they will come in white and they will come in black. And let me see a little bit more details about it. They're unisex, 100% cotton, pre-shrunk. The sizes available will be from small to 3XL. And for more details, stay tuned. You'll hear about it sometime this week in our newsletter. And next, reviews. Reviews. I don't know if you've noticed, but for the past several weeks, we have in our newsletter, says if, I'm going to quote it. We have in our newsletter, it's like share your love, okay? So show of hands. Who loves TCP? Okay, we all love TCP. Okay, so studies have shown that people who leave reviews, people who want to shop, well, let me rephrase that. People are more inclined to make purchases based on the reviews that other people leave. So, with that being said, we need your help. If you love TCP, share your love. Please share on Facebook. Please like us on Facebook. Please review us on Google. And we're also on Yelp. And I believe on Better Business Bureau. So please share the love, because by you sharing, people will see what you have to say about it, and they're going to want to feel more intrigued to come see us. So we have enough space for them. So come on, share the love. And I am complete with that. Now, house rules. House rules. Please leave the lid on your beverages. Please be mindful not to leave things behind. And to learn more about all of what I've announced this morning, we've announced this morning, please get on our mailing list by scanning the QR code that's located behind our seats. Please check out our website for additional information at www.thecenterofpeace.org. And again, like us, follow us, subscribe to us. And last but not least, practitioners are available after service and throughout the week for meditation and prayer. And I believe I'm complete. Right?
Thank you, Allende. So this morning we have a belief in action. And if you don't know what a belief in action is, it's the opportunity for the congregation, for individuals to come up and share with the congregation their demonstration as a result of practicing the principles that we talk about. Why is it important? Because we want to share with others how the principles apply, how these principles can apply to our lives in real time. Sometimes the words are airy and fairy and you don't quite get what they mean. So the belief in action offers us an opportunity to kind of connect heart to heart and grasping a great understanding of the principles and practices. So anybody can do a belief in action. You'll need to see Callista Dorsey. Callista, please raise your hand. If you want to do a belief in action, we do have a guideline to help guide us through so that we stay on point, on time. This morning, our belief in action is our very own Callista Dorsey. Callista?
Good morning. I'm going to start out with the principle that I was using, and I realized that that was what I was using this morning as I was sitting there. Number 2, we believe in the individualization of the Spirit in us, and that all people are individualization of the one Spirit. The reason I'm sharing today is because I kept asking the universe, the Creator, a question. Why people are not coming up here to do a belief in action? I just didn't make sense, because see, when I get a sale at Macy's, I'm going to tell you. When I find a good restaurant, I'm going to tell you. But this goodness that God keeps doing in my life, I know it's doing it in your life, because that's the way it goes. So I kept asking that question. Then one day in meditation, I realized, you asking the wrong question. Why aren't you giving a belief in action? Why are you continue to go where it looks like, here she come, she's going to ask you, sending out texts and all that? So today, I decided I'm going to share how quickly this manifested. I kept asking the question, why you're not doing it? Then last Sunday, the Creator answered. Because in the Q&A that Reverend Tawana did last Sunday, there were quite a few people that stood up and gave a belief in action. So what I learned from that is to go within, stop asking the wrong question. Ask, why aren't you doing what you expect others to do? So my belief in action, that what I expect, and I'm going to continue to pray on, that there are going to be some more people stepping up here to do a belief in action. It's a commercial, yes. It's every second and fourth Sunday. My phone number is available. I don't care. It's the belief in action is the fact that you were able to pay the mortgage this month because you thought you couldn't pay it. That's a belief in action. I want to hear about it. I'm complete, Reverend Tawada.
Morning, Center of Peace. While Will gets ready, talk about belief in action. On Friday, I wasn't certain as to what I was going to sing and didn't know how the music was going to happen for it. That was on Friday. Ran into Will, and so it is. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. Everybody searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. I never found anyone who fulfilled my need. A lonely place to be. So I learned to depend on me. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity, because the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. The greatest love of all is easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I failed, if I succeed, at least I'll live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity, because the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. The greatest special place that you've been dreaming of leads you to a lonely place. Find your strength in love.
Love that song. Okay, everybody, please stand and repeat the affirmation after me. Today, I count my blessings and smile. Today, I count my blessings and smile. I am richly blessed. I am richly blessed. Thank you, and so it is. That was submitted by licensed practitioner Helen Moore, who also submitted today's reading. And the reading comes from the Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo, is entitled, It Is Enough. If you can't see what you're looking for, see what's there. One of the most difficult things for us to accept is that beneath all our dreams and disappointments, we live and breathe in abundance. It is hard when in pain to believe that all we ever need is before us, around us, within us. And yet it is true. Like leafless trees waiting for morning, something as real and as constant as the earth holds us up and turns us ever so slowly toward the light. Our task is only to be rooted and patient. Never was this more painfully true for me than during the aftermath of my first chemo treatment. I was in a Holiday Inn at 5 in the morning after 24 hours of vomiting every 20 minutes. I was slumped on the floor, holding the space of a rib that had been removed 3 weeks earlier. And my wife, in anger, in panic, in desperation, called out, "Where is God?" And from some unknown place in me, through my pale, slouched form, I uttered, "Here, right here." The presence of God has never eliminated pain, only made it more bearable. Now when things don't go the way I want, I try to kiss what waits beneath all want. Now when the car breaks down, though I get angry, I try to hear the weeds in the ditch as they point me to the sky. Now when the vase drops from my hand and shatters, though I whine, I try to see beneath my reflection in the pool of flower water. Now, when hurt, I try to feel my way through the tangle of my very normal reactions into the quiet underlying of all experience. Mysterious as it is, no matter how painful no matter our pain or excitement, our drama or circumstance, all that we could hope for is here. We lack nothing. The humble challenge of being human is not in agreeing or disputing this truth. That is as fruitless as arguing against gravity. Our humble way, if we can open to it, is to root ourselves beneath the 1,000 dreams and excuses that keep us from the ground we walk. Time and again, we're asked to outlast what we want and hope for in order to see what's there. It is enough. And so it is. So this
was the fun one. So last night, my printer's not printing. Y'all, a writer without a printer, that doesn't work at all. So I happened to be on the phone with Hazel last night, and I asked her to print this for me. She said, okay. She prints it to me. And then in the middle of the night, I start changing the words. So I'm going to be, I'm using my tablet. I need an E. You're a winner when you remind yourself every day you can make it. And you're affirming when you pray, knowing the Spirit is your guide. It's nowhere out there but inside. Just raise your love up, raise it on up. Love in action, just raise it on up, raise it on up. Seeking your highest and your best and letting go of all the rest. You're a winner as a revealer of the truth. So just keep on loving as Holy Spirit leads you to be thankful in all things that come, cause Spirit's where it all comes from. Your love is raising it up, raising it up. Love in action, keep raising it up, raising it up. You. Pray, pray, and keep raising it up, raising it up. Love in action, keep raising it up, raising it up. Heavens within be of good cheer, living in peace and without fear. You're a winner, living in spirit and in truth. So just keep on loving as Holy Spirit leads you to giving thanks for everything that comes, cause Spirit's where it all comes from. Your love is raising it up, raising it up. Love in action, you're raising it up, raising it up. Raise your love higher, 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 higher. You're demonstrating you receive according to what you believe. Knowing the Spirit is your guide. It's nowhere out there but inside. Seeking your best and letting go of the rest. Heavens within be of good cheer. Living in peace and without fear. Cause you're a winner. Living in spirit as in truth. So keep on loving and in the Spirit as in truth. You're a winner. You're a winner. Keep raising it up. Raise your love up. Raise your love up. Raise your love up. Raise your love up.
Thank you, Zuma. Please do. Give her another round of applause. Thank you, Will and Zuma. Thank you. So now I'm delighted that I get to introduce our very special guest speaker this morning, Reverend Ruth Littlejohn. Reverend Ruth Littlejohn is an ordained religious science minister with Centers for Spiritual Living. As an active member of the New Thought community since 1992. Reverend Ruth worked closely with her mentor, Reverend Sheila Pierce, to provide spiritual leadership for Spiritual Empowerment Center after the sudden transition of its founding minister, Reverend Paula Byfield. Also, she served as a remote staff minister for the Center of Peace. Her vision is to communicate, facilitate, and inspire wholeness. This vision propelled Reverend Ruth to move from Columbia, Maryland to Virginia Beach, where she founded Hampton Roads Center for Spiritual Living, a science of mind community. The center provided spiritual tools and principles for transforming lives and is now known as Agape Hampton Roads Spiritual Center and is led by Reverend Victoria Thomas. In addition to her role of founding spiritual leader, Reverend Ruth has been active in her local area as a job coach, with Marera E. Obendorf Central Library, a survey lecturer with ARE, Edgar Casey Center, and a member of interfaith group Hands United Building Bridges. Prior to relocating, Reverend Ruth worked as an independent organizational consultant and executive coach and served in leadership positions in several Fortune 500 companies and educational institutions. Her educational background includes 3 master's degrees: Master's in Consciousness Studies from Home Institute, Master's in Human Resources Development from American University /NTL, a Master's in Administration and Supervision from Lehigh University, and an undergraduate degree from Norfolk State University. Listen, Reverend Ruth has been with the Center of Peace before the Center of Peace was the Center of Peace. She was a part of the Center of Peace as a divine idea in the mind of God. She loves the Center of Peace just as much as anybody who proclaims to love the Center of Peace does. She was central in Reverend Sheila being the great Reverend Sheila, loving and supporting this community in the way that she did. She is a gem, and we love her. I love her. She has always been there for me and continues to pick up when I do call. She was here this weekend with us. She led our board in a board retreat. That was wonderful, phenomenal. And so I am delighted that she's here and bringing the message this morning. Would you please join me in welcoming Reverend Ruth?
Is that better? Yes. All right, all this technology. My endeavor was to bring my cell phone so I could read from it. But I've not gotten there yet, folks. I'm just saying. I do know how to use it, but reading from it does not work. So it is my pleasure to be here this morning, inspired by the work of Reverend Tawana and the board. I had a chance to spend time with the board this weekend, and as we would say, I was impacted by their Need more help? Okay. I was impacted by their commitment and the skill that they bring to this job. You know, it really moved me to see that these are people who are committed to seeing that the Center of Peace doesn't just stay on this corner, but everybody gets to experience it. So it was a great experience to do that. Let's see. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. And I always want to be clear that I stand here on the shoulders of my enslaved ancestor, Eric and Peter Littlejohn. My grandfather, Johnson Littlejohn. My mother, that's why I didn't get married, because she had so many husbands. What can I say? My mother, Hazel Littlejohn Haley Moore. And my paternal father, Andrew Creighton. Because, you know, when you show up here, all of those people are staying here, right here with me. So it is my pleasure to be here this morning and share with you about my life, which is what I know a lot about. You know, I can tell you about a lot of other people's lives, but I know a lot about this one. And what I want to share with you this morning is really around my vision and how it shows up sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't. So that's what I wanted to make sure we got a chance to talk about. Reverend Tawana talked about my vision, which is really to communicate a wholeness to myself and to others. And when I talk about wholeness, I'm looking at how are we connected, mind, body, and spirit. How is all of that connected? So usually I'm looking at how does it work here, how does it work with my family, and how does it work with the community. So that's what I'm committed to. Now, I must tell you, I'm not going through puberty. Something is happening with my voice. I'm just saying. That when I think about doing this work, I am clear that there are things that I get stopped by. Now, let me just check, because I don't want to be in the wrong place. Are there some people here who get stopped by doing? You got things you want to do, but you get stopped? Okay, so this is the right place. You just know you don't want to be talking to the wrong audience. I'm just saying. And so when I think about the things that stop me, I think about this whole idea that I have of excuses. You know, excuses that I have that keep me from doing things. And one of the ones that I get tagged up with is that sometimes when I'm having conversations with myself, I get, I get feedback from ego. And you know how I know it's ego? Because it is somewhat, this is what you need to do. You need to buy those Ferragamo shoes. Now, that's definitely ego. That's not spirit, right? So anytime it says must, should, ought, we know that's ego. Now, spirit is just a gentle feeling that shows up that you move to. But that stops me. So I get hung up in that. Sometimes I get hung up in this whole idea of, you know, sometimes you have these, you know how you have things on your back and you try to make them match. So many of us have stuff we've done in life and we try to act like it's not even hanging anymore. We make it match our clothes and we just wear it like it fits, right? I'm just saying. So that stops me also. So I don't know if you have a bag, but you see I tried to match it. Because we don't want to know we got stuff that ain't working. So I'm just saying. So in my bag, one of the things I realize that I carry with me, I think some people call this a hoarder. And I hope I'm not the only one in the room that has this. I hoard unforgiveness. Anybody in here hoard that? Yeah. And what I notice about hoarding unforgiveness, it blocks my vibrational energy. Now, so imagine if this is your lifeline and you got lots of knots in it. Can you see the energy coming through that? Can you see that? And that's what we carry. And so I hoard mine. Of course, it's in a nice bag. You don't see it, right? And so I'm just wondering how many of us are hoarding unforgiveness. And a lot of my unforgiveness is about me. It's about me. Stuff that happened years ago. When I flunked out of Howard. Now, how many years ago was that? 1966. And I'm still beating myself up about it. So just really looking at what that is, that stops me. The hoarding of the forgiveness. And this is just a lifeline. I have lots of knots in it. And usually these knots are unforgiveness. Now, am I the only one that have knots in it? Like I said, I don't want to be at the wrong place now. I'm just saying. Yeah. So so the goal is when I can forgive myself, my vibrational energy gets to flow. Can you see that? If we've got lots of knots, we wonder why we're so tired. Our vibrational energy is very low. So I'm always looking, okay, girlfriend, what is it you need to let go of now? And so one of the things that I got in touch with that I needed to let go of were relationships. You know, all these nice men, they all couldn't have been bad. You know what I mean? It's like something was going on with you, girlfriend. All of them couldn't have been bad. So really, I got in touch with, he was not bad. He was being who he was being. I just was not being my best self with him. There was no physical violence, but I was not being my best self with him. And so it took me about a year to write about that. And what did that look like? That looked like him being his magnificent self and me not being clear about what I wanted, not being clear about boundaries, not being clear about what I wanted to learn. And so it took a whole year to really write that down and then actually send it to him and have a conversation. But can you see just getting that kind of knot? Can you see the energy vibration that comes up? Now, nobody's shown up yet, I'm just saying, but but I just did it. I just did it last year, I'm just saying. So you got, Spirit says you got to give it time. You got to give it time. So those are the kinds of things that I have in my bag. Now, I don't know about you. You want to think about what is it that I'm holding on to? And it's so well done, it's matched. We can't even, it doesn't stand out for us. But that's one of the ones that keeps me from moving. The other thing that I do from time to time is when I am guided to do something. For instance, over the years, I'm moving to the third part of my life. You know how that is, the third part? That's the part closer to 80. Yeah. And there are things that Spirit keeps saying for me to do. Because we all show up here with a little vial, which are our gifts. And it's concentrated. So we use a little bit, and we think it's all used up. And so what Spirit said to me was, girlfriend, you're still here. So you have more to do. You have more gifts to share. Now, of course, I'm bargaining. Well, Spirit, don't you think that when I opened the center in Hampton Roads, don't you think that was enough? And I asked Spirit, but you're still here. So really just getting clear how I was avoiding wanting to do the work that I'm called to do, which is doing the coaching with women that are 45 and older, and also working with sinners. So that's the work that I'm called to do. But I notice how I have just danced around it. Is the piece that I'm noticing. And also I notice how the other way I stop myself, I don't know about it, I get busy. It's interesting, I'm trying to work on this coaching, and what did I decide I want to do? I want to start a spiritual circle. It's like, now, sister girl, why do you want to start a spiritual circle? Why can't you work on what you're working on? Because that's how I stop myself. I come up with other stuff that sounds good. Doesn't spiritual circle sound good? Yeah. I'm just saying. No. It sounded good to me. So those are the kinds of things that stop me. And what I know is the work of Science of Mind, the work of this center, allows me to be exposed to the practices and principles that allow me to move past those. So I have a spiritual coach that I work with where we can talk about where I'm being stopped. I use spiritual practices that we have, meditation, visioning, all the other exercises. I feel mind, body, spirit, so I do that, prayer, working with people. Because the spiritual practices, and somebody said to me, I help people with spiritual practice. Well, how come you have to do it all the time? Well, you know, when I check with Steph Curry, I don't know him, but I notice he does practices all the time. All the time? Yeah. And when I was living here, AI, well, he practices, but sort of not all the time. But see, the thing is that there are different ways of practicing. He didn't practice the way his coach wanted him to practice, but he did practice. So the thing is, when we talk about spiritual practices, are we willing to do it all the time? Because that's the work that allows me to get past the things that stop me. So that's one of the, I think, powerful pieces that I've worked with. The other thing that has helped me is, you know, Ernest Holmes says, if you and I can change the way we what? Think. We can change our lives. Yeah. Now, that sometimes gets a little crazy because you know how you change the way you think on Monday and then Tuesday you're back? That's not what Dr. Holmes meant. That's called flip-flop, folks. Dr. Holmes really wanted us to actually use practices to support us, the affirmations to support us. And so that's the work that I have been excited about. That's the work that the center does. I mean, I think everybody who's here got a bonus. You found that place where you can now use skills and people can support you in living the life that you were brought to do. You were meant to live. And so that's the gift, I think, of Centers for Spiritual Living. It's the gift of Center of Peace. So that's the work that continues to excite me about the possibilities. And so when I was starting the Hampton Road Center for Spiritual, we had 2 members from this community, Donna and her sister, and Debbie. They showed up. They were not on the rolls, but they showed up all the time in Virginia Beach. So felt grateful to do that. And also felt grateful that people who came through the center, lives got changed. People thrived through cancer. People who had been out of school for years went back to school. We had 2 people who went through a sexual transition in the center. So really an environment where people were helped and felt supported. And so that's the work that I was committed to and still am committed to. As I was telling the group yesterday, sometimes when you do things, it's being willing to know, to be guided. This is guided. Because see, in somebody's mind will say, well, if you started the church, how come you're still not there? Because that's what normal people would do, right? You would start a church and you would stay there, right? But normal is not my name. All right, so So I am the kind of person who's divinely guided. In about 5 years, I got divinely guided. Well, you know, this is working. It's organized. You need to let the board know that you're going to be resigning. Also, look, you can imagine the feedback. So my willingness to be who I am in the midst of no agreement is the other piece that allows me to get unstuck and to celebrate. So the point I'm saying is that we all don't have to do things the same way. And so as I'm living this vision called facilitating communicating wholeness for myself and others, is being willing to stand out, to be different, and to use the various tools we have to not to be stopped. So usually I'm working with myself, also working with families. I think as a community there is a commitment for those of us who are in this teaching to start to work on what we call generational healing. You know, generational healing. And you know how you can tell whether you have generational unhealing stuff in your family? When people don't talk about stuff. You know how you have those what I call transactional conversations? They call them weather reports. Yeah. How you doing? That's called a weather report. And so we know, so we're not going to talk about Uncle John. I had 8 uncles, and let me just say, they were very handsome, and they shared their sperm very freely. But think about the generational part. Think about slavery. What did slavery suggest in that situation? You were moved from place to place. So not like an excuse, but it's understanding that. And so how do you and I, as Science of Mind people, support that generational healing? And the issue is we only have to do it once. And so I was sharing with Reverend Tawana, I had a young, my nephew had been married 2 years. I guess the men in my family just move a lot, you know what I mean? He had a one-night stand, what can I say? And the young lady called him and said, my husband and I are divorcing, and he says he doesn't think this child is his. So they got a DNA and they realized it was not. So can you see the generation, my 8 uncles, who left their sperm around, and now here's an opportunity. And so when we talk about generational healing, we only have to do it once. He decided to take that young man, who was 2 years old, and raise him. And 2 weeks ago, we were at that young man's graduation. Yeah. That's called generational healing, folks. Yeah. And I certainly thanked his wife, because can you imagine being married to somebody in 2 years and they tell me, we got a son? Yeah. So really grateful for her. So I say that because sometimes we think about how can we make the family different. If we can shift that one space, that will shift the family interest. The other place in our family, because my commitment is to communicate and facilitate wholeness for myself, for our family, and our community, is looking at the whole idea of pregnancy. How did that happen? Of course, this is an old conversation. I'm going to cancel it, because this generation, they don't have an order about when it happens. You know what I mean? Back in the day, I was born before my mother was married. You can imagine there was a mortal sin, right? And she dropped out of school and all kinds of stuff happened. But that conversation doesn't even work these days. These young ladies, these people do it in any order that they want. Yeah. So I'm going to cancel. I'm going to release that one. I'm going to release that one. But my point is, how do we get stopped? And are there places that you get stopped? And who's going to support you when you get stopped? What spiritual practice do you have to support you as you're getting stopped? What are you committed to? I heard you talking about social justice. My commitment with social justice is to have change be cheaper. How can I work to have change be cheaper, if I could say it, cheaper? What do I mean by that? Think about the change we've had. People have lost their lives. People have died so we could have where we are right now. So how can you and I do work that has change be cheaper? And so a lot of the work I'm working with others and centers doing is really finding ways to create uncomfortable conversations that allow people to move forward. How can I have an uncomfortable conversation that allows me to get in touch with my my biases, my internalized racism, my internalized oppression. How can we, so that's what I see my work as. So my intention this morning was really to talk to you about the places that I get stopped and how this work supports me in moving forward. And hopefully giving you some opportunity to look at where you get stopped. Now, you might not, maybe you don't get stopped, I'm just saying. But look at where you might get stopped and what's possible in moving forward. And the gift of this center is that there are people here who can help you. There are tools that are available. And I think that is the joy of the work that we have, that we do here. You can get coaching through the practitioners. And I became, I was you can't be a minister without being a practitioner, so obviously I was a practitioner, right? And the thing that was about practitioner was that it wasn't a usual kind of thing. My life has not been usual. And so can we be willing to do things that are not usual? So most practitioners, you go through, right through school, right? It didn't happen with me. Home office called and said, we have people from all around the country. Can we just have a practitioner class that meets once a month? And that's how I became a practitioner. I met once a month. Yeah. So being clear about what your vision is, being clear about how you get stopped, and how the principles here allow us to be supported. And you don't have to have a bag that matches. And how do you and I increase our vibration? Because that's really, if you think about how you feel tired and disappointed, it is about our vibration. In my experience, it is the knots of unforgiveness that I have that I need to look at. And so it's been my pleasure to speak with you. I trust something made sense. And I am just, I know wherever Reverend Sheila is, she's touched, moved, and inspired by where you are and how this unfolds. And as I look at Reverend Tawana, I'm always, if you can imagine, when we first met, she would come to meetings and sit in the corner and wouldn't talk to nobody. And who would have thought that she would have decided to do this work? But you just don't know. You know, our parents said that you were touched. You know how they said, well, I was early on, as I was 6 years old, I was moved that I was going to be a minister. That didn't happen to me. I was like 46, and they were still trying to say, well, didn't you finish ministerial school? Yeah. So my point is your willingness to be guided, to be a part of this community that's really to support you in living the life that you were meant to live. Knowing that there's a oneness that happens here. There's a joy, there's a freedom. And so I'm just simply grateful to have been with you and trust that something I said will inspire you to get rid of your bag and live fully as oneness. And so it is. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So understand we want to be moving into prayer. So however that works for you, sometimes I always suggest you put our feet flat on the floor if that works for you. Close your eyes if you feel safe. And we simply are moving into that space of knowing the truth of who we are. That we're here representing the divine, that we're whole and complete. There's nothing that keeps us from being whole and complete, magnificent, joyful. And so we simply celebrate that here in this amazing building with this amazing energy and leadership. We say thank you, Spirit, for this golden opportunity to be present this day, in this moment, knowing that all is in divine right order. I know we move forward from this space with a sense of new possibilities in our lives, remembering our oneness, remembering those things that we let go of, embracing our sacred yes, and knowing that just where we are, divine right action is happening. So I know that today continues to unfold in a powerful way. New possibility shows up. And there is a sense of love and peace that shows up in life. As we move through where we're going in our country, we see unconditional love and peace showing up around us, in us, as we stand forward, knowing that whoever we see, they too are spirit. So we simply see the divine spirit in them. So we're grateful for this time together, grateful for the music, for the readings, and each person who showed up here this morning to have this center be open, available, and powerful. So I know when you move forward, new possibilities show up. You let go of your bag. You're willing to move forward in a powerful way and share. So for this and so much more, I say thank you, Spirit. Thank you for this golden opportunity to be present with these amazing, divine, spiritual beings. And so from a place of deep appreciation, I simply say thank you. And so it is. Aho, Ashe. So it is.
I know you, I see you walk the same way as me. In your eyes and in my eyes, you're easy to see. When you give up the fight, I will give you the stars. Then what you have is who you are. The soul knows when a door is closed too tightly. The soul you can give it all away, but keep some for you and know what you're here for. Know what you're here for. I know you, I hear you speak the same words as me. In a way, you keep me safe and living free. When you give up the world, I will give you my love. Then who you are is more than enough. The soul knows when a door is closed too tightly. The soul knows you can give it all away, but keep some for you and know what you're here for. And I know what you're here for. And let your heart belong. A soul for each of us. Bring yourself to tears. For all you are is all there is.
And so it is. And so it is. Yes, as the practitioners are taking their seats, can we please give Reverend Ruth another round of applause? Yes, and I want to call our ushers forward as we move into a time of sharing here at the Center of Peace. So, yeah, all right. I want to ask you all, please, to take out your gifts, your tithes, and your offerings. And I'd like to take a moment to just bring into the room the presence of those who've already given online, those who do give online, and those who are giving online now. Would you please join me as we turn within for prayer? Join me in knowing truly we are ever one, rooted in that which is infinite and inexhaustible, ever giving of itself. And in this, I know then that we can never outgive the giver. Let us come together from that place and that space then with joy in our hearts as we come to share with the Center of Peace, where I know surely that all that we receive today, that it moves us out into this world, shining our light so brightly, shaking up our vows, pouring out our concentrate, knowing that it is powerful. I know that all that we receive, that it moves each of us out into this world in our own unique and individual way, being a beacon of light, standing for peace, and sharing love. So I know that just as we are blessed by all that we receive, that the giver too is blessed 1,000,000 times fold. Truly, it can be no other way. So for all that we receive, I do give thanks. Truly, I do give thanks. And so it is.
You're my life, you're my breath, you're a smile, you're my guest. You're the earth, you're the sun, you're the grass, you are love. You're my hands, you're a bug, you're my eyes, you're a hug. You're the light in the dark, you're the spark, you are fun. You're my mom, you are water, you're the stars, you're my daughter. You're my friend till the end, you're my dreams, you're my father. You're the ants on the ground, the miracles that surround. I'm feeling it all around, the hemisphere in the clouds. You're my pain, you're my sorrow, you're my hope for tomorrow. You're the strength when I'm hollow, you're the path that I follow. You're the blessings that exist, the small things that are bliss. The gift to realize that everything
All
is a
that
gift.
I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all. Grateful for it
You're the blessings every time I try to count. You're the lessons that I learn every time I turn around. You're the water when I'm burned every time I think I found everything I'm looking for. You're the sign saying stop to take a bow and keep moving forward and start looking towards your heart. It'll open all the doors and only then you'll start to hear the world singing chorus with your mind and heart. Aligned in purpose, everything
all
will feel
that I
gorgeous.
am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all,
Every day I sit and pray cause what I have is more than I deserve or could ever imagine. How do I give back to all of this magic and spread the love so everybody can have it? Doesn't matter if I'm rich or poor, if I got a family or if I'm all alone. Bad things happen, I can just complain and moan, but there's a million things that I can be grateful for.
And so it is. And so it is. Yes. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you, Alima. All right, we've done it again. Please stand as we prepare ourselves to sing our closing song, Our Release, written by Ricky Byers. As our choir comes forward, or those of us who are here in the choir in some way come forward to lead us in our closing song, our release. The lyrics to the words are on that sheet of paper that you got. If you don't know the lyrics to the word, so that you may join us. I want I want to remind you all that our practitioners are here ready to join you in prayer, knowing the truth about you, with you and for you. If you are desiring prayer, please do find one of our licensed professional practitioners to join you in prayer. They have on the purple stalls. All right, I think we're ready.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Thank you, y'all. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. Now I can say, if you're discouraged, wanting just to make it through another day, you have got to let it go. Let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart and mind. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Yes, and so as we journey on throughout our week, remember what the good Reverend has shared with us this morning. Stop the excuses. Your life depends on it, and we do too. And so it is. I am free.
roads that seem to lead down to the sea. I wonder which road will be the right one for me. Others may fall away, dead ending left and right. But there is this one road that journeys far